Hello, this is Greg with Travel Hacks News. Today we're going to dive in to my top 5 fantastic beaches on Key West. Here we go. Hello and welcome. Key West, Florida. One of my favorite places to be. Also happens to be my hometown. I was born and raised in Key West. Um, through high school, went to Key West High. And although I don't live down there anymore, it's a place I go to often, a place I love, a place that I know a lot about. So today, let's just dive into some of the beaches, 5 of the beaches on my top list here to talk about. Um, there, the picture you can see, where Key West is located, uh, only 100 miles from Havana, so actually about 90 miles from the actual coast of Cuba, and Miami just up to the north, about 180 miles. So this is a kind of a funny picture, but that's kind of the way it feels. You're kind of out in the middle of the ocean, um, in a beautiful place. So let's get into this. My 5 fantastic beaches in Key West. So, depending on the direction in which you travel, Key West will either be the first or the last of the Florida Keys you get to on a trip between Miami and Key West. US 1 connects the more than 800 keys between these 2 points, crossing more than about 42 bridges on about a 180-mile stretch, with the Atlantic on one side and the Gulf of Mexico on the other side. In gorgeous Key West, the largest inhabited community of the Keys, you'll find the famous mile marker zero. It's also home to the Ernest Hemingway home and great entertainment on Duval Street. And of course, on a daily basis, the sunset celebration at Mallory Square, an awesome place to end the day. But like other Florida Keys, Key West is best known for its fantastic beaches and water sports. Key West beaches are all different, each has its own particular attraction, and so the choice is yours. But here are my top 5 favorites in Key West. Number 1, Smathers Beach. As seen there, it's probably the longest beach in Key West. And you can see from there, it's not that long actually, but it is the longest point in Key West. One point of reference about the beaches in Key West, and just so you know, there's no surf. It's calm waters, um, and most of the beaches are the sand is like flown in. Basically, it's imported in from the Bahamas and other areas. And the reason there's not a whole lot of sand and the water is calm is that there's a coral reef about 7 miles off the coast here in the Atlantic coast, and basically it breaks the surf, the wake as it's coming in. And then of course on the other side of the island, it's the Gulf of Mexico, and that's more or less you know circle. It's basically enveloped by a circle there where it's really breaking the surf as well on the west coast and the west coast of Florida actually as well. The wake is not that heavy or big. So Smather Beach, it's located on the south shore of Key West. Smathers Beach is the island's longest and most tranquil beach, where you'll find nearly 2 miles of white sand, palm trees, and a sea that barely seems to ripple. Each year, hurricanes sweep a good part of the sand away, so it needs to be replenished from the Bahamas, as locals rumor it has it. You can swim, sunbathe, play volleyball, or snorkel, but don't expect to see any spectacular fish. There are facilities and vending trucks where you can purchase snacks and drinks. Access is free. The beach is ideal for a sedate day of sand and sun. Number 2, Dog Beach. Dog Beach, generally dogs are not allowed on Key West beaches, but there is a place where your pooch can frolic in the water too. Dog Beach. The 20-foot wide beach is not easy to find, It's at Waddell and Vernon, tucked away next to Louis' backyard. Visit this beach to give your canine a companion a good time in the water. You'll find rocks, clumps, and seaweed on the small stretch, but that won't make a big difference to your dog. Just don't expect to swim yourself. However, your dog has had its fun in the water, you can reward yourself with a drink or some great food at Louis, where the leash dogs are also welcomed. Number three, Clarence Higgs Memorial Beach Park. Not far from Smathers Beach at the end of Reynolds Street, you'll find the Clarence S. Higgs Memorial Beach Park, adjacent to the Waldorf Astoria Casa Marina. Tropical vegetation surrounds the beach, which has fine white sand and shallow waters. There's a lot more to this place than just the beach, though. The park features the only shore accessible underwater marine park in the United States and is the end point of the Florida Keys Overseas Heritage Trail. Free parking and all kinds of water sports are available, as well as loungers and deck chairs. You can book water sports rentals at good prices at the Tropical Water Sports. For a change from swimming and sunbathing, for a bit of history, head across the road to the West Martello Fort, a Civil War era fortification featuring a tower. The fort is also surrounded by lovely gardens and is today home to the Key West Garden Club. Nice place to check out. Number four, the Fort Zachary Taylor Beach. Fort Zachary Taylor Beach. This beach, which forms part of a state park, is a paradise for divers and snorkelers. It's made up of ground coral and is part sandy and part rocky, so it's a good idea to have water shoes on hand. Admission costs $6 though, but parking is free. Completed in 1866, the Fort Zachary Taylor provides a fascinating look back at the Civil War era. The beautiful brick arches were built by British and Irish craftsmen, and the surrounding park features one of its nation's largest collections of Civil War ornaments. Tours of the fort are available daily, but you need to book in advance and be accompanied by a ranger. There are also two trails that you might want to explore, the Sand Hog Trail and the Fort View Trail. For refreshments, you'll find the Cayohueso Cafe, Key West Cafe near the beach. Um, as a kid, when I was growing up, this fort was there, obviously, but it was just abandoned. They did nothing with it. Um, used to go on there and find like just ammunition and um, just things just kind of thrown around. This has been a few years ago. Um, I was born in '63, so you can dates that can tell you how old I am. But um, yeah, as a kid, we used to ride our bikes there and just used to explore on our own. No one really bothered us at that time, but I'm sure, obviously, today it's a lot different. So number five is Sunset Beach. There are other beaches in Key West, and I'm trying to just keep this video short and sweet for you. So, giving you my top five. So clearly, other beaches, but so I'm going to end up with out with this Sunset Beach. Um, as the name indicates, South Beach is located at the southernmost point end of the Key West, closest to Cuba. It's also at the end of the famous Duval Street. Not as long as Smathers Beach, but very shallow water and fine white sand. South Beach is a place to relax, swim, and work on your Florida tan. There are a few beach bars and restaurants, but no facilities. Eating and drinking on the beach is not allowed, but that's what the beach bars are for. Your grandkids will enjoy splashing in the water while you watch the world go by. Since this beach is at the end of Duval Street, you might come out at night or early in the morning. You might find crowds of people just hanging out that basically are doing the Duval crawl, all the bars, and might be quite tipsy. Um, if you are one of them, South Beach is an ideal place to recover from a hangover. Just don't take your beers with you. So that was the end of my top five best fantastic beaches in Key West, and just a little information what you want to know before you go. Key West beaches are different from those you might have encountered on the Caribbean islands. Because of the coral reef approximately 7 miles off the coast in the Atlantic, there's no surf, which typically forms nice sandy beaches. The beaches are smaller and somewhat rougher since many are a combination of sand and rock. So be prepared with your appropriate gear, especially the water shoes. Key West beaches are great for lounging and relaxing, and if you're traveling with grandkids, they're ideal because most of them have shallow water. Thank you very much for listening to my top 5 fantastic beaches in Key West. If you enjoy this channel and you want to receive future videos, please subscribe. I would love to share with you more of my travel experiences. Thank you.